Hello everyone, welcome back. In previous classes, we have learnt about the basic Linux command and the basic thing about the how to create the file and directories and how to delete file and directories. Now, this session is basically belonging to the file permission in Linux. It is one of the important topic if you are talking about the Linux administration because this is totally belong to what permission, what level of permission, how we can give it that, and what are the levels of permissions. So these all things we are going to discuss in detail. Okay. If you're talking about the file permission, basically I am going to cover in two parts. First, I am going to discuss about the how we can change the file permission, what is basically a file permission, and second thing we are going to discuss about the how we can change the ownership of the file, how we can change previously this group was basically ownership and I am changing to different group to the ownership, the how we can change the ownership of the file. This thing basically we are going to cover in two parts. So let's start with the first part, the changing the file permission. Okay. Now if you talking about the file permission, let's log let me log into the Linux server. I am currently logging to my Linux server. If you see my host name, that is itself this. Now let's discuss. Let me see if any file is present. Okay, you can see currently one file is present with 123 kb and other directory is present. Okay, how we are arranging this is directory and this is file. If starting with D, it is a directory, and if it not starting with something blank, that is a file. Okay. Now if we are talking about the permissions, if you see these all file and directory having R Tiwari permission. R Tiwari, who is R Tiwari? I am the R Tiwari. How we can check who am I? If you see myself R Tiwari. So I am currently logging to this first Linux server using my ID, that is R Tiwari. So I am the currently owner of this. Basically, I am currently logging as myself and I can control that. Then let's me first discuss about the what the basically things. If let me just copy this thing so that I can explain you in the notepad. If you are seeing this notepad, let me try to make bigger. Okay. First is called directory, and after that the file permission came into picture. First three, read, write, execute, you can see the permission is the permission at user level. User means who is the owner of the file that can have a permission that of that. So if you see that myself is the owner, so I can have the read, write, execute permission. Next three, that is called the permission at group level. Group means, let's take an example, there is a group which has 10 member, then that 10 member can access that file or directory. That is all. So if here you can see read, write permission is not there, so they cannot write the group cannot write the anything inside the file. They can only read and execute the file. And the last thing is the this last third one, that is read dash write. The this is called others. Others means accept the owner of the file and the group owner of the file, whoever the person that have access of this server, they can read and execute the file, they cannot write the file. Okay, this is something called links, already tell you. This is called the first thing that is coming here is called the owner of the who is the owner. It tells about the who is the owner of the file, and this basically tell us about the who is the group owner of the file. Basically, file having the one person who's called the owner, and other is called the group, basically who having the access of this file and who own this file. So this is called the group owner and this is called owner of the file. That is called the file size. What is the file size? And that is something that called time when it is created, and this is the file name or directory name. Okay, so this is all about the basic file structure. Similarly, if you are seeing the normal file, if you are seeing the normal file, this is the normal file. If you see here, this file having something initially tell what this is the file, and this file having the I am the owner, I have the read and write permission. I don't have execute permission because file we don't execute the file. Mainly we file the script, we execute the script, so that's the reason it having the only read and write permission. Again, the group having, if anyone belongs to group R Tiwari, then they have only read permission, and apart from the other people, they have only read permission. So this permission we can change. We have authority. I have authority to change the permission. Then how we can change that permission? Let's take a scenario. Let me create one more file. Let's create a touch, and the file name is touch. Okay, something touch. I am writing the information. India is a great country inside a file that is file 2. Okay, so I have created again one more file that is file 2. Okay, okay, something information, something file has also created. If I get this, don't know why that this has been created. Okay, somehow I have used touch. I somehow I have used touch, and this, that's the reason I writing file that is that's the reason. Let me remove this file, then again create. I have written the wrong command. Touch is basically used to create a file. Basically what I have done, I have written the touch. Let me show you. I have written the touch, and let me show you. I have written the touch, and thus file name one, it considered a file one, and again this is considered as a file 2, so it is creating file 2 and this. So let me remove this, and also let me remove this, and let me again create a file with some content. Let me use the echo, or you can use vi. I will create also vi also. Let me echo, and let's write the information into the file 2. Now in file 2 we have written some information. If I get to the file 2, we can use vi. Let's use vi to create another file that is file 3. I am, let's insert. How to use vi, if you are not aware, then you can go to my video. There is a video name called the creating file and directory, where you will see how we can create the file using vi. Okay, so I am uh, Rishu Tiwari, and belongs belongs to India Thanks. Thank you for watching the video. Okay. Now that's all. Let me go outside. Now let's cat the file 3. Now you can see that's information in written. Now let me clear the screen. Use the clear word to clear the screen. Now let me do the ls minus ltr. Now you can see I have the three file 1, file 2 and file 3. Currently the same level of permission all three file have. Now I already told you कि first three is called the permission at user level or you call the owner level. Second is called the second third is called the permission at group level, and the next third is called permission at the group level. Now I am going to modify the file and let's see what is happening. There are two ways to modify the files. Let me go through the first way, then I'm going to do the second approach. Okay. So let me write the chmod. Chmod is change mode. We are changing the we are doing the modification. So change mode. If I, let's take a first scenario, I want to remove the write permission from this file 1. So I am going to what I'm going to do. This is I am removing from the user. So u and minus I am want to remove the write permission. So I am w and the file name that is file 1. So if you see here, you can see this file earlier having the write permission. Now it is no, it does not have any write permission. Okay. Let's take a scenario. I want to remove the from in same example, if I want to remove the, let me clear this all. If I want to remove in the from this file 2, I want to group having the user having the read and write access, I want to remove the both. Then how can we can achieve that? So you can write g and I want to remove if read and write, so I'm going to read and write and file name that is file 2. Okay. Now if you see this file, okay, this file currently currently group having no access. Earlier if you see group having the read access, now group having the no access. Let me remove the user itself, user from user, let me remove the read and write access both. Okay, for the file 3, file 2. Now if you see the file 2, if you see the file 2 having user having the no access, group having the no access, and even for the other it is read access. Let's remove for the other also read access. How we can do? Chmod and it removing from others, so o minus, and what access I'm removing, that is read and the file name that is the file 2. Okay, now everything is removed from the file 2. Then now file 2 having no access, you can see currently file 2 having the no access. Neither user can is neither user have any access, neither the group have any access, neither other have any access. So let me just brief the thing. If you want to now let's see this having the no access. So let's see whether I am able to see the file or not. If I do the cat file to, cat is a command basically used to see the content of the file, you can see permission denied, because even no one having the access to read the no, even there is no permission to this file, so we cannot read the file. Yeah, although this file having some information, this file having information, India is a great country, but I am not able to see the information because this file having don't having permission, this file having no permission. So we can add the permission. How can add permission? Instead of minus we can use plus, chmod. We use user and let's add read write and execute permission, all permission lets me add, and the file 2. I am just chmod. Where you want to give the permission, it is the user or group or it's something other. If you want to add, then you have to use plus. If you want to remove, you have to use minus. And what level of permission, whether you want to add read only, then you have to use R. Whether you want to write only, you have to use W. If you want to read write, then you have to use RW. If you want to add read write and execute, then you have to use RWX. It is up to you what permission you want to give. So I have given all the read write execute permission to this file. Now if I try to cat, then I am able to do so. Let's see. If I do the cat, you can see the information. India is a great country because I am the owner of the file and I have the permission to read write execute, so I can see the information. But apart from me, if anyone want to see the file, they cannot do because they don't have permission. Okay. So in this way, we can restrict the people to see the content of the file, to access the content of the file, to access the script that we have written. That is all. Okay. So summary of this thing basically is you have to write chmod, whether it is user or it is group or it is uh, other. What you have to, from what you want to add, subtract, or want to do the permission, and what level of permission, that is the either the read permission or write permission or something execute permission or read write or read write execute, what level of permission you want to add or subtract, you have to do, and from which file we want to do, that is the, and from which file you want to do, that you have to do. Okay, this is simple about the file permission. Okay. Now if I want to again, if I want to add to more to the group also, let me go add the group, that is read write and execute permission. So let me add the file 2. Now if you see file 2 having the read write execute permission also to the group. If I want to other also, you can do the same thing. Instead of group, you use the other. Now if I execute the same thing, if you see, now other having the, now this file having the full access. Anyone anyone having access to this first Linux server can read the file what is written inside that file, because even the user having the read write execute access, other having the group having the read write access, and other having the read write access. So this is one way to to give or remove the access from the file. Apart from that, there is one more way. Instead of writing the thing, there is one more way. We have certain number, we decide certain number. On that basis, we used to give the permission to the file, or we used to remove the permission from the file. Zero means the no permission. One means that we can give execute permission. Two means write permission, and three means the write execute and write permission. Four means read permission. Five means read and execute permission, and six means read and write, and seven means read write execute permission. So what basically this follow like that, this like that ch mode, and the user, group, and other, and the file name. This type of pattern it follow this type of pattern basically. You have to, what we want to do, I want to do the modification in the permission. You have to select here, you have to write here the user number basically. If I want to remove the if I want to if I want to give user only read access, so I am going to write here 4. Let me take this same example and copy here. If I want to if I want to give only user for this file, if I want to only user can read the file, so I am going to write here 4. Again, if I want to other can only read the file, again I am going to write here 4. If I want to other, except for other, no one can access the file, so I am going to use the 0. So this is all about the what level of permission you want to give to user, you have to select from this number. What level of access you want to group, you have to select from this number. And what level of access you want to give to other, you have to select from this number. If I am selecting like that 777, it means I am giving read write execute permission to user, read write execute permission to group, and read write execute permission to others also. If I write like that 7 740, it means I am giving user as a read write execute permission, other pick group having the only read permission, they can only read the file, and other accept the group and the owner of the file, no one can read the file. So let's implement and the same thing. So let's go to the file and see the file. Now we have the file this. Currently file to is overloaded with the permission. Okay, so let's implement remove some access from this file. So chmod, and I want only user having the read write access, other having the no access. So if you see, if you see here, user having read write execute access, so I am going to use 7 for the user and accept the other is 00. So let's use 700 and the file 2. Now if I do ls minus ldr, you can see only user having the read write execute permission, accept other, no one having any access. Okay, similarly let's take a scenario. I want only this file 3 having the read access and other having no access. So I am going to do the chmod and the 400 and the file 3. 4 is for the read access, 4 is for the read access. So I want only file 3 having the read access to other, and other have no access. So we can do like that. You can see currently file 3 having the read access, and other than the, if I do the currently file 3 as a, you can see I can see the information because file 3, I am the owner of the file and I have the read access, so I can. So if I remove the access, what I have to do, I have to do chmod 000 and the file 3. Now access has been removed. Now I cannot read the file. If you see here, if I try to cat the file 3, I it will give permission denied. You can see it is permission denied because I don't have an permission. So this that is all about the file permission in the Linux basically. I have learned the two things. Basically we can perform the chmod either using the chmod, and you can use the there is one point I have missed. If you want to, in the previous thing, basically we used to do like that chmod and the user group and other, and used to plus and read write access like that. What if I want to perform to all user group and other, how can we perform using that? Basically let's take a similar scenario, this file having the no permission, I want to perform on the all, then how we can do the, we can use a and what level of permission you want to add. I want to add read and write permission, and to which file basically I want to file 3, because currently file 3 having no access to user group or other, so I want to add to file 3. So let's use the file 3. Now if you see every one having the read write access, you can see if whether the group having user having the read write access, and this having the read write access also, and other having the read write access also. If I can again cat the file, you can see the file information. If I cat the file 3, you can see I am Rishu Kumar Tiwari. I am Rishu Tiwari, belongs to India. Thank you for the watching the video. That's all. So we have till now we have learned about the file permissions inside the Linux. Okay, we have seen the how we can change the file permission of any file, any directory we can change in similar manner. So let's go to the second part, that is the called the change ownership of the file. How we can change the ownership of the file. So I have already explained you what about the ownership. If you currently see, the owner of the file is called Artivari, that is myself. How you can say who am I? You can see. Let me who am I? You can see myself is Artivari, so I am the owner of the file, and I am the owner of the file, and this is the Artivari is also a owner of the uh, group. Artivari also belong to that group. Okay, so this file basically belong to the uh, Artivari. Okay, so this is called something the owner of the file, and this is something called the group that having the access of the file. So how we can change basically the ownership of the file, and how we can change the group ownership of the file. So there are two level of access. First level of access is the ownership of the file, and second level access is the group ownership of the file. We can change the ownership of file. Let's this file having the currently the currently owner is R Tiwari, and let's change the ownership of the file of that. So there is command called the chown, change, ch for change, own for ownership. What currently I want to assign instead of R Tiwari, I want to assign R Tiwari, instead of R Tiwari, I want to assign root as a ownership of this file. So let's do the root, and the file name is the file3. Now you can see it is saying that changing ownership of file3 operation not permitted. Why it is saying operation not permitted? Because changing ownership or changing group ownership of the file is only can be done by the root user. Root user is a super user who have a power to change the ownership of the file. They can do anything, any operation inside the Linux system. So so I need to go to the I need to switch to the I need to switch to the root user. So let's see where the file is. If pwd basically tells about the where the file basically belong to. So uh, let's switch to the root user. Now currently I am logged as a root user, because if I do the who am I, you can see it is root. Previously who am I was doing myself R Tiwari. Currently I am a root. So I am logged as a root, and now I am a super user, and I can do anything. So let's do the ls minus ldr, and you can see the all three files. Okay, let me first clear the screen. Okay, now if I do the ls minus ldr, if you see currently all three files are there. I am currently as a root user. Now let's this time change the ownership of the file. If I do the chwn, and I want this file3 ownership as root, so let's root, and the file name is file3. Now ownership has been changed. Now if I do the ls minus ldr, you can see currently the owner of the file3 is the root. Now R Tiwari is not owner of the file. Okay, if I do the again change the if I want to again change the ownership of file2, then we can change. You can do the let's change the ownership of file1, then chown, and what basically ownership you want to assign. That is, I want to assign file1 as a root, and I want to give the file name as a file1. So file1 basically I want to assign file1 as a ownership of root. Previously it was as a R Tiwari. Now I want to give as a root. Let's see. If you see again, currently root as a ownership. So we have seen basically how we can change the ownership of the file. So basically what we have to do, we have to write chown, that is change ownership. What level of ownership basically you want to assign, and the what is the file name or the directory name where you want to assign the ownership. Now let's change this time this level of access, changing the group ownership of the file. Then how we can change the group ownership of the file? For that, there is a command chgrp, change group, and the what level of access you want to give. I want to give root. And what is the file name? File name is file1. Now if you see, currently file1 having the root as a group ownership. Similarly, if I want to change the file 3, again the change group and the what level of access, that is the root. I want to assign the root as a group ownership, and which file, that is file 3, and let's click on enter. Again if I do the ls-ldr, now you can see file 1 having the root as a ownership and root as a group ownership. Similarly, file 3 having the root as a ownership of the file and the root as a group ownership of the file. File 2 I have not modified in the permission. Now let's switch back to the normal user. Now before switching, let's try to cat the file, a file 3, and let's see. Now you can see I am able to see the information. I am Rishi Tiwari, belongs to India. Okay. Now switch back to the my id user, sudo su, and that is the R Tiwari. Now I am switched back to my user. If I do the, let me first do the clear command. If I do the who am I, you can see myself as a R Tiwari. Now let's list the file that I have modified the permission. If you see ls-ldr, if you see there is the file 1 that having the root access and the file 3 having the root access and the file 2 having the that earlier having the R Tiwari. Okay, let's try to cat this time that file 3. Okay, I am able to try the cat because I am basically belonging to R Tiwari, also belong to that part, so I am able to try it. Let's try to remove the file. It is removed because also, let me told you, because this is something the local system, and that having the I basically created the server and I am the basically owner type this of the server. So that's the reason it is getting deleted and created. But in ideal case, it should not happen. If in ideal case, if you working on the real environment and someone has assigned you a server and they have given the access and they having, if file having the root access, then you cannot access it. Okay, that is all about the. So we have covered, let me just quickly brief you, we have covered the how we can change the file permission. We can change the file permission in two way. Either we can do the chmod or you can do the user group or other, or plus minus what level of permission basically read write execute into, and the file name. And either also we can use a for all. Similarly, if you want to change the ownership of the file, you have to do the ch own, what basically ownership you want to assign and what is the file name. If you want to change the group ownership of the file, you have to chgrp and what ownership of the group basically you want to assign and what is the file name where you want to assign the group ownership. That is all about the file ownership and of the that we have learned here. Again, if you have any doubt, any question, you can ask me. You can send me a mail at learnpassofficial. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe for more informative video. Thank you all.